So listen, here's a great idea. Not as a great idea. It's ingenious. In Moscow, Putin's protection people fear that the Americans are trying to kill him with what, Claire?
These are killer mosquitoes.
Right.
The paranoid Russian politicians believe America to be genetically modifying mosquitoes in an attempt to launch an assault attack on Moscow. I just think that it highlights quite how mad and worried and insular Russian politicians are becoming. They are only looking at their own media, they are not stepping outside of their own circle, and they are just paranoid. And I thought this highlighted it. The very thought of a mosquito being genetically modified to go and kill Russians. Well, it's something out of a science fiction.
Except it is all the rage now, because just in this last week in Cyprus, they've released, I don't know if you call them a herd or a swarm, whatever you call them, a bunch of mosquitoes that have been genetically modified with a nuclear technique to remove dangerous diseases like yellow fever. And the idea is that they'll breed, they'll become the dominant mosquito, and then the rise of these worrying infectious diseases as Europe gets hotter is actually reduced. So it's absolutely fascinating what they're doing. And I have to just say, from my own experience last year, I've gone to Mallorca my whole life. Last year I went in October. They had a wet, very, very wet September and a very, very hot October. We were eaten alive for the first time. We didn't enjoy it. People were dying in mainland Spain from new types of variations of mosquito-borne diseases. So they are using these new techniques. So the Russians aren't completely barking up the wall. But as Eamon says, how can they work out that it would just kill Putin?
But that's the thing. So you set off a swarm, herd, whatever the collective.
I like a herd of mosquitoes.
Herd of mosquitoes. And are you going to guarantee they're only going to Moscow and they're only going to get Russians? Because I think that's a little bit...
Or Putin.
Or Putin himself.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, how can you programme the mosquito to do that? I mean, I can see that, as you say, that when you're looking at infectious diseases and the genetically modifying insects... Yes, it's possible, and yes, science is fantastic, and you're looking at it for crop protection and things like that. But I think just to go out there to kill, like a little army of sort of flying assassins, it doesn't quite ring true.
Yeah.
I've got a few names I could give them here. For few people.
Got a list.
Yeah, a list.